The Braves 2024 season is underway as pitchers and catchers have already reported to spring training along with several position players. Alex, I want to ask you, which Braves is going to surprise you the most in 2024?
I got two. Pitcher, position player, Bryce Elder. A lot of people are kind of just writing him off for whatever reason. The guy in the first half of last year stepped up when the Braves needed him most, helped Spencer Strider and Charlie Morton kind of carry the rotation while the other two spots were just a revolving door of really bad pitching, really. And he was nothing but stable for the first half. Ran out of steam. A lot of people were like, this is the guy. The answer is he's not the first half. He's definitely not the second half. He's going to be somewhere in the middle. Now that he knows it's that marathon-long season, I think he's going to pace himself. I think he's coming into the season with a better idea of what pitching in the major leagues is really about. He's going to surprise a lot of people. And that fifth spot in the rotation, it won't be Ronaldo Lopez. It won't be one of these young, exciting prospects, AJ Smith-Shawver, Hurston Waldrop. It's going to be Bryce Elder.
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows that watches this show religiously knows that I'm a big fan of Bryce Elder, and I think he's eventually, whether he gets it out of camp or not, going to be the Braves' fifth starter. And I do believe in him long term as a guy that's going to be a staple of this rotation. I'm going to go with this one's not necessarily a surprise in terms of guys expect him to do well, but I'm going to go over the edge and say a Braves player wins the NL MVP this year, and his name is not going to be Ronald Acuna Jr. It is going to be Austin Riley, I think he's got a 40 home run season under his belt. He's a guy that already hits for around a 300 average. I think he hits for 300 average, 40 home runs. But more importantly, he improves defensively enough to where that WAR, which has become so important in these, and it's really what people look like. Yeah. If you have the highest WAR, someone's going to be like, oh, well, he obviously is the best player regardless of what happens. I think defensively, he makes those improvements, becomes not just an above average, a good defensive third baseman to go along with those 300 batting average and 40 home runs, wins NL MVP.
Quickly, Michael Harris, also same breath. Obviously, Michael Harris is already a stud, but he puts it all together. There's no lapses. There's no dry streaks. There's no cold streaks. There's nothing. Michael Harris is above 300. The power starts to come along a little bit. He gets his first all-star bid, top 10 finish in the MVP as well.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, Michael Harris he has an argument as the most underrated player in all of baseball. This is a guy that really was an all-star the last two seasons and didn't get recognized for it. Obviously, mostly because he wasn't here in the first half of his rookie season, and then he got injured and was kind of not himself in the second half. But when you look at the end-of-season numbers, I mean, the guy's on an early Hall of Fame path. That wraps up our show for this evening. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We will be back with you tomorrow.